Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Kids from It podcast. I am TJ, power is taken, not given, joined by K, Tequila Mockingbird 13. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's chill. This is the end of the year. This is it's just one of those things that nothing's going on. People just kind of coasting out till the end. Good luck getting any work done next year. Anybody doing anything? This
is like the third consecutive episode I've recorded from my bed.
It's the last week of December and the first week of January might as well not exist for society, right? Like if you're not, if you're not traveling or shopping or cooking or something, no one's getting shit done. It reminds me of you ever look at the names of the months of the year, and I didn't even finish what I was saying yet. You didn't even let me get to that. So, but I remember.
Do I ever look at a calendar? Sometimes.
Well, I remember noticing that the months of the year seem to have prefixes that indicated numbers. Like December looks like 10, and October looks like 8, right? And so. But that didn't make sense because December was the 12th month and not the 10th. And I found out eventually that what happened?
You just sit around and you're just thinking about this stuff.
Okay, listen. Well, how do you know? I don't sit around, deciphering.
Okay, I get it. I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes. This is just something you notice, right? Oct means 8. That is not like a far out thing there. So I remember noticing that, and then later on, I discovered that that's not a coincidence, that December does mean 10th month, but that does make sense because it's the 12th. But the reason it means 10th month is that the Roman calendar had 10 months starting in March, from March to December. And January and February, those days still existed, but they didn't assign a month to those days because those days were dark, cold, shitty, and nothing happened. So
fuck these months. We're
exactly.
Gonna pretend you're not even there.
That's exactly what they did. It's like, no, we're not even gonna bother annotating these. A very weird system, honestly, but eventually they did for practicality's sake. And that's January, good.
So on brand,
Yeah, it's like nobody's farming, nobody's working, everyone's huddled inside trying to survive, so we're not going to bother with this. And they named January after Janus, the god of new beginnings, and I forget February is named after, but kind of go on from there. Julius Caesar, July, Augustus Caesar, October, August, so on and so forth. But yeah, December does mean 10th month. It's just anyway. Wow. All right. So we got a couple things to talk about this episode. Got a little off course from our usual content, but how can we not? Let's talk about. So a lot of you saw, I'm sure, that Donald Trump won Person of the Year for Time Magazine a couple of weeks ago, and I strongly contend that who else could it go to? Of course, it's going to go Donald Trump, But if the article would have been written a week later, Luigi Mangione would have been my Person of the Year, right? I mean,
absolutely. I would hope.
Guy is an international superhero right now. What are your thoughts on Luigi Mangione? I think we've actually talked about it, Kayla. What are your thoughts on this dude?
I think he's a American hero, and I think he's got the face card, and I think it's the whole him getting charged as terrorism. I just think is wild. I hope people realize that it's so he doesn't have to be tried in front of a jury of his peers, which really is like everybody's right. That's what it boils down to, in my opinion. Don't you think so? Why do you make that face?
He's not going to be tried in front of a jury of his peers.
I mean, not with being charged with terrorism. I don't think so.
Really, I hadn't heard that. That seems odd.
I don't think it's a jury trial. Am I wrong?
Well,
if I'm wrong, you have to edit this part out.
well, I'm just saying, like, constitutionally, you have a right to trial by jury. Like that's in the Bill of Rights. Like that is your right as an American citizen. Now you can waive your right to a trial by jury. Would be insane. Now a military tribunal. We don't
try terrorists in front of juries.
So a military tribunal, you would not have a jury trial, but being charged with terrorism doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in a military tribunal because it's not a military combatant. All right. I guess I'll look it up how that's going there, but I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, can you look it up? And if I'm wrong, I want this whole part edited out.
Kayla, being wrong is okay. It happens to everybody. I mean, some of us less than others, but it does happen to everybody. It's perfectly fine. So yeah, one thing I remember when I first heard about this, that before we even knew who Luigi was, we saw those images of him in the hoodie and him smiling and flirting at the cash register or whatever and all that, and they kept showing these pics before we even knew anything about him. And it's like, are they trying to get this guy laid? He looks cooler every single time I see him. And then they actually catch the guy, and it turns out he's got like 5% body fat and a $1 million smile, and just so like cute. Right, it's like and then the propaganda machine that they've tried to ramp up around him, saying that he's some sort of, I don't know if you saw that video that Mayor Eric Adams, he called the cop.
Oh my god!
You see that?
Yes, it was so cringe.
Yeah,
I mean, like, as reasoning for being there and all of it, I was just like, what is
insanity. And I in that video he said, well, I'm so glad you got this dangerous person off the street. This is because does anyone believe Luigi Mangione is a danger to you or me? Anybody? I dare you to find anyone who would be afraid to eat dinner with Luigi Mangione, to rent him a room,
only the world's CEOs and billionaires.
Exactly. 99.99% of people are going to be.
You read his manifesto, right? And
yeah,
he's got like quite a tale too. What did you didn't like it, did you?
Oh man. So okay, all right. So
let's hear it. Let's go.
Okay, I rate Luigi Mangione 10 out of 10 on everything. I mean, showing up and just broad daylight popping a CEO, balls of steel, incredible, leading the cops on a wild goose chase, dropping the bag full of Monopoly money. When he fired the weapon, his gun jammed, clears the jam, and just continues the job. Incredible.
I didn't know that. Oh my god.
Yeah. If you watch the video, his gun jams and he clears it. I mean, like no nerves, nothing. And evaded. Actually, him getting caught is kind of weird. I'll get to that later. That's kind of odd, like the situation around him being caught.
Oh yeah. But, tell me what's weird about it. We've talked about doing true crime on this podcast so many times. Like, let's bust this shit right open.
All right. So I'll get to the manifesto, but him being caught. Why and how? That's the thing that's weird to me about he was caught at a McDonald's, right? And he was called in by a worker. So there was a lady that worked at the McDonald's.
Entrapment.
Well, get this. She recognized him and then told someone, hey, I think that's the guy. And the guy called the cops. Now look, I'm not like saying this is a conspiracy. I don't think they framed him or whatever. It's just, how did anyone, she's in Pennsylvania, right? She's not even in New York. She's in Pennsylvania. And she says, oh, this guy wearing a mask looks a lot like the grainy image I saw in New York 5 days ago. I'm going to call the cops. And the cops are going to take that call seriously. The cops show up. They find their man. And on his person, he has a backpack with the murder weapon, the silencer, and a 2-page handwritten manifesto. Kayla, when is the last time you wrote 2 pages with your hand? Well, when is the last time you did this? I mean, I can't think of the last time I wrote 2 full pages with my hand. And I remember the last time
I keep a little diary, so actually it's not that uncommon.
Okay, all right. So Kayla's shitting on my point here. All right, everyone else.
Have you seen the McDonald's images? Is that out there? Like
when he's at McDonald's?
Yeah.
What, of him at McDonald's or what?
Yeah, of him at McDonald's. Yeah. I haven't seen that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's eating a hash brown. I just remember he had like a cloth mask on, and he was eating a hash brown or something. And so they released that. It's just very strange. Like, I don't think, why would he have that shit on him 5 days later? Right?
I know.
That
almost would seem like more conspicuous to me.
It did. It seemed very strange.
Yeah, and That's so random. That's so random.
When I first heard it, I couldn't imagine a good reason he'd still have that shit with him. I mean, I haven't been to crime college, but I know that if you kill someone, you get rid of the murder weapon
immediately. Get rid of the murder weapon
as quick as possible, right? You don't carry it with you for 5 days. So that's weird. And then my first thought, well,
murder 101.
Yeah, right. Maybe he planned on getting another one. Like maybe that would make sense, but I don't know. We haven't really heard anything say anything about that. But this all happened, and then the news kept reporting that they had a 2-page handwritten manifesto. A 26-year-old wrote 2 pages with his hand. Still blows in my life. Like you would think it'd be posted somewhere, or emailed, or messaged. I don't know. That's odd, but whatever. A 2-page.
No, I get that. No, you do have a point there with his age and that he didn't put it online or something like that.
Very weird. Very strange.
It's almost like, but it's so Luigi for me. It's like poetic.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean,
what would we expect from our king? Yeah. And then they kept saying, and the news outlets wouldn't release the manifesto. They wouldn't release it, and they said, "Oh, we have here." They released 2 lines from it that first day, and the first line was, "I'm sorry for the trouble that I've caused," and the second line was, "I had to do it because these monsters had to pay." Those are the 2 lines that they released, and later, like the next day, Ken Klippenstein found the manifesto and released it. It was 2 pages, and wow, was it unimpressive. I
haven't read it yet.
Oh, God. Oh, hey, you know what? I'll pull it up. Here we go. It won't take long. It will not take long. It is, now it's the fuck, it's not live. I can just look here. All right. I like, when I did a video on this topic, and I referred to it as Luigi's Manifesto because I thought it sounded funny. It sounded like a video game. And then I realized, oh, that's what everybody's done. That wasn't clever, TJ. That's the obvious joke right there. So I hate when I do that. But all right, Luigi's Manifesto. Here we go. To the feds. I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. First off, very weird opening line for Luigi. Like, why do you respect the feds, Luigi? Come on.
What up, gang? Like, I respect you. I don't hate government.
To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This is fairly trivial. Some elementary school engineering, some basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of trauma, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the United States has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable largest company in the US by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No. The reality is these companies have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space. And frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, Rosenthal and more, decades ago, and the problem simply remains. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I'm the first to face it with such brutal honesty. That's it.
Okay. I liked that. I thought that was pretty impressive. And what did you want out of it? Why? I don't understand. Explain your disappointment.
That is not a manifesto.
He admitted that he's not like an expert at it. Okay, maybe manifesto was
exactly. Right. So yeah. So that's a confession.
I'll give you that. That's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, so I think the problem was because I thought I was so disappointed in this because I was expecting so much more. It was pretty bare bones, right? And then the next day I thought, oh, you know what the problem was? They kept calling it a manifesto, and I was expecting a manifesto,
like a 10-page dissection of the healthcare system and why he was pissed.
Yeah. And that if they would have said they found a confession letter, I wouldn't have been disappointed in that. But after I read that, I was like, hey, I did it. Healthcare system is bad. Like, all right, we already knew that, but okay. So but
pretty much like, fuck these guys. And
Now, once again, fully on Team Luigi. I find it very rich that there's all this hand wringing going around about how this is vigilantism and we can't stand for this in a proper society. Like Brian Thompson was the head of United Health. And United Health denies thousands of health claims every single year, more than any other insurance industry in the United States. Brian, I don't know if you saw this.
Not an act of terrorism.
Yeah, no terror to see here. Like, just turn away. Look at this guy who killed one person. Did you see that United Health had an AI system to reject insurance claims? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who hadn't seen it, United Health, Brian Thompson, when he was CEO, he employed an AI system to review and reject insurance claims almost exclusively of elderly patients, which makes it really sick. And this AI functioned so poorly that whenever it was challenged by people who had rejected claims, the people who challenged it found that the AI had a 90% failure rate. Like 90% of the time, they rejected perfectly good claims. And that's just the people who fought against the claim. A lot of people probably didn't, and they died. They were sued for this 2 years ago by the beneficiary, but the patients were already dead at the time. And like this is it is a disgusting, vile system that allows people to die by the thousands so people can make an extra buck. And I'm supposed to be mad at Luigi Mangione. Good luck with that. I don't understand. Yeah,
he was with me that day. He was with me that day.
I know, right? Yeah, we stand with our boy Luigi. One way or the other. I love seeing the solidarity. I gotta say though, I gotta go into politics here because this is a political topic. There's no way around it.
Okay.
But what I've seen a lot of this is that you have a convergence of support from pretty much all across the political spectrum. Everyone, no matter what their political party is,
everyone's like, fuck it, we are with Luigi.
Right.
So, which is really what we're seeing is like classism, like.
See, everyone keeps saying
identified.
This. Everyone keeps saying this, and am I crazy or something? Because it doesn't make sense to me. I hear a lot of this that, folks are finally coming together. They're figuring out it's not left versus right. It's up versus down. And I say, okay, all right. What does the right want here? Because this is what I ask all the time. I don't know what the right wingers want. Like, what is the problem? Because I know right wingers. I know what they want. They want a free market, a capitalist, a medical system in which insurance companies can compete with each other and do the same thing they're doing now, right?
With no product.
With no product, right? And so it's so my solution is to decommodify medical care, that no one should have to like fucking everyone else, right? Like everyone does this other than us. It's like, you get sick, we'll take care of you. We don't care if you're broke or not. That's what everyone else.
That's what they do for the military.
It's what they do for the military. Yeah. And it's like,
why do we
it makes sense. It makes sense, right? Like, what's the purpose of society? We don't live to serve the economy. The economy lives to serve us. But that's how we're doing this. And it's like, okay, that's my solution. Universal healthcare system. But conservatives don't want that. They don't want that at all. They want the healthcare CEOs to exist and do the right thing. They want the healthcare CEOs to like, well, all right, sure, the insurance company's going to exist, but we're going to treat you guys right. We're going to be fair to you. Like, we need a better CEO than Brian Thompson. And I say, folks, that can't happen. That cannot happen.
It's not a realistic expectation.
Because
even if United Healthcare gets like a better CEO, he won't survive long in the industry that exists. Number one.
Thank you.
And then number two, really that was it. Number one.
No, it's like you're right. You're 1,000,000% correct. Because here's the thing: what you guys got to realize here is that a CEO has a fiduciary and legal responsibility to make as much money for the shareholders as humanly possible. If Kayla was the CEO of United Healthcare tomorrow morning, and she said
everyone all the money.
Yeah, and she said, okay, look, we are going to, act like human beings with compassion. We're going to pay for this shit. She would go to jail. Right? Like, you can't do this. It is illegal to take away the profits from your investors. So there's no good way to do this without just, sharing the cost amongst the people. I don't know. I don't understand. That's why I don't get like, oh, the right's mad too. Mad about what? What are you fucking mad about? This is what you wanted, but I don't know. But I am interested to see what happens here because they keep trying to drum up the crowd against Luigi. Oh, matter of fact, I was going to show this picture here. So, is it what is it about Luigi Mangione that the government doesn't seem to know how to make people hate this guy? They have been trying for the better part of a month now, and like they showed
the masses are eating it up.
This picture goes hard.
Hard fucking image of the year. It's amazing.
Right? It's like it's one fucking guy, and you have like a platoon-sized element of cops in suits of armor.
Luigi, baby, I hope you felt like a bad motherfucker. Okay, I hope you felt good.
He's like a random 26-year-old, and they got him surrounded like he's a rogue Avenger or something. Like what is going on here? Every time they put a picture of this guy, he looks cooler and cool. Did you see he got a haircut for this? I don't know if you noticed that, but people have been pointing that out, that the last time we saw Luigi, he had like some a little bit of facial hair here and like long sideburns and stuff. But when it came for this perp walk time, he had fresh like a taper and shit. It's like the inmates took care of him.
They
took care of him. Like, hey, boy, yep, you're going out on TV. Let's go. And so I don't know. It's pretty interesting.